Hello, and welcome back to our family's board game channel, House Rules. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Aurora.
I'm Faith.
I'm Victoria.
All right, so on today's video, we want to talk about expansions. What are expansions, you ask? Well, they are little extra things that you buy for a game that just adds to it a little more depth. Maybe it's just more of what you have already had and love, or maybe it's an extra mechanic or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
As a family, we have come up with some of the games that we play, expansions that we think are a must-have if you would go out and purchase that game or if you'd like to play that game. So let's go ahead and jump right into that. So the first game we kind of really thought about, and we really like this game. It's Quacks of Quedlinburg, the Alchemist expansion by North Star Games. In Quacks of Quedlinburg, everybody is a quack, an alchemist-ish, and you are making potions to help heal the villagers. It's a push your luck sort of game. So throughout the game, you're going to fill up a little bag with different ingredients. Those ingredients will give you different things you're allowed to do throughout the game. But at the start of the game, there's already, what are they, snowberries?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they will eventually they'll cause your potion to bust or explode or ruins it. So you score points by the further you're able to get along on your board, pulling out these tiles, and you kind of pick when to stop. The Alchemist expansion is really fun because what it does is it adds a like a little bottle and still thing to your board, and it allows you to score points in a different way throughout the game, whether it's by giving you little bonuses on the next round or just giving you straight up victory points for the game as you play through. There's a good amount of replayability in it because there's six, maybe 8 different cures you're actually going for with these different alchemist tubes and stuff that each player gets to choose one of at the beginning. Well, you choose 3 to start with, and that everybody gets to pick from, and then each player kind of chooses which one they want, and it helps. How do you want to play? So that's the other thing. It kind of, not everybody's kind of doing the same thing for the same reason. Not everybody's getting the same ingredients for the same reason, but it never fails. You're going to have 30 ingredients in your bag, and you're going to pull out all 7 snowberries anyways. So, but like I said, the Quacks of Quedlinburg Alchemist expansion there's 2 of them out there. There's the
Herb Witches.
Herb Witches is the other one, but in our opinion, the Alchemist one just adds more
Details.
Yeah, more fun to the game. A little bit extra, more extra to the game, more variety to the game. So, Quacks of Quedlinburg is the Alchemist expansion, is the one we picked for number 5. These aren't in really particular order. These are just ones that we think that you should own if you have this game.
By North Star Games.
Yep, by North Star Games. All right, so why don't you go, Aurora?
Okay. One of the games that we all really like and expansions are the Ticket to Ride expansions, and the one we chose is the Japan edition by Days of Wonder.
Yep. And
Ticket to Ride is a game where you have cards and you use those cards to put trains out on the board. Japan, the different thing is about this one is the bullet trains. And the bullet trains can be used by all players.
Yep. Yeah, so just like in the regular Ticket to Ride, you're trying to complete destination cards to score points. And like she said, in the Japan one, there is a track of bullet trains that have their own special little train car. And everybody's working together to put those out on the board through the same basic mechanic of using the cards that you've drawn throughout the game. When you put these little trains down on however a 2, 3, or 4 track. You score a certain number of places on a scoring track thing, and at the end of the game, who's ever contributed the most scores the most points from that. Then the second player, then the third, then the fourth. But throughout the game, anybody, it doesn't matter who, can use that track to finish destination cards to score points. I think it has one of the better. It's a big board. It's a big, long board. It has a couple little spots on it that go to like extra play. Like one's part of the Tokyo subway area.
Mm-hmm. And it's like the board has like its own little small map. On it too.
Yeah, that zooms in.
Mhm.
So the other thing about the Japan one is actually you have a lot less train tokens. So I think in the main game there's like you'd use 45 trains or 42 trains or something. But in this one you only have 25. So you really have to be smart with how you play your trains and what you build. So and there's only so many of the bullet train tracks too. There's way more track than there is bullet train tokens. So, and I think that's one of the things. Once all the bullet trains are gone, that kind of triggers the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Super fun. It's pretty quick as far as the Ticket to Ride games go, obviously. So, but yeah, Ticket to Ride Japan.
One thing I wanted to say is I like that that edition is somewhat cooperative because players are encouraged to build the bullet train because they'll gain points for building the bullet train
Right.
as well, and other players can obviously, as they said, use that bullet train and use less of their individual trains.
Yeah, you jump out to kind of a lead if you don't build the bullet train, but you kind of stop scoring points at the end. You don't get any extra.
And I did want to say that the Japan edition adds 1 or 2 mechanics. It depends how the way you look at it. Because the bullet trains and the scoring for the bullet trains.
Right. And Japan's not the only one that comes in that one. It's Italy.
Maybe. Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you get the Japan one, it comes with the Italy expansion as well. So that is kind of the other cool thing about the Ticket to Ride games. There's most of the time there's two kind of expansions in one little box.
Mm-hmm.
For a few of them. You just got to read the box. So Ticket to Ride Japan by Days of Wonder. Okay, Faith, how about what's the game that you think they should be playing?
My game is Draftosaurus Marina expansion by Onkama. So each person has a total of 6 dinosaurs in their hand that they'll pick one and draft, as in the title, to build their dinosaur park. And depending on where they put it is how, when somebody rolls a dice, depending on where you would put your thing.
Yeah.
And I like the Marine expansion because it adds these other dinosaurs that you can play with in an extra part of the board you can put them in.
Yeah. Draftosaurus is great. Just like she said, just like in the name, everybody's drafting dinosaurs. So you have a hand with 6 dinosaurs, and you're going to secretly pick one, and somebody's going to roll a die. Everybody's going to actually take turns being the person who rolls the die, and that tells you where you can put your dinosaur and sometimes the place you can't put your dinosaur. And you're building your park by putting these dinosaurs that you've secretly picked, and then you pass the rest of them either to the left or to the person on your right, and you put them in one of the dinosaur enclosures. Each enclosure scores depending on what dinosaurs are in there or how many dinosaurs are in there. And even the T-Rex just kind of scores an extra thing. The Marina expansion, it adds a waterway thing and like the little plesiosaur thing. So you kind of put that in there, and then instead of kind of putting it in the enclosure, you actually move that one deeper into it to score better points. And if you have certain dinosaurs, that's how you're able to open up to move the plesiosaur deeper to score bigger points. So Draftosaurus is a cute game. I know we've maybe only mentioned it once or so.
Maybe briefly.
Yeah, in our different videos. Super fun game. It's quick. I mean, you can learn in 5 minutes and be done playing in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So all the little cutout, their little wooden cutout dinosaurs. What?
Meeples.
Yeah, Meeplesauruses. Yeah, in the shape of the T-Rex, Spinosaurus, Brontosaurus.
Stegosaurus.
Yep.
I don't know the name of
Brachiosaurus,
dinosaurs.
maybe?
Triceratops.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Bronchosaurus, maybe? I don't know.
And then there's anyway. And they're all kind of color coded too. So that actually does play well to if you're playing with somebody who might have some visual issues. The dinosaurs look different. They're different colors based on the different dinosaur that they are. And actually the board is actually double-sided. So the side you learn on playing is a little bit easier to kind of put the dinosaurs around. The summer side, yep. When you get to the winter, there's just a few changes on how the different enclosures interact with each other, actually. So it's a fun game. We like to take that traveling sometimes with us. It just has a lot of little pieces. So if you have some of those, if you're traveling, there's like mesh tables, or you're on a picnic table with a big slits in between the different boards.
You could lose a dino.
Yeah. So, but great little game. Easy to learn. Super fun to play. So that was Draftosaurus Marina expansion by Ankama.
My recommendation is Tuscany for the game Viticulture, and both of those games are by Stonemaier Games.
Stonemaier Games.
We're big Stonemaier fans.
It's the inserts.
Smooth jazz, Stonemaier. Anyway, so we've discussed Viticulture in previous episodes, but briefly, it's a wine making game, and players will plant grapes, harvest grapes, enhance their winery, fulfill wine orders, do different things, attract different visitors to their winery. The Tuscany edition or expansions can be added one at a time and then later built upon, so you're playing with all of them all at once.
Yeah. No, definitely. The cool thing about the Tuscany expansion is, like you said, you play the original Viticulture game, and then the winner of that one picks the first modular expansion to add to it. You know, Mamas and the Papas, patrons, whatever. They get to add that one. Whoever wins that game chooses the next piece of expansion to use. And I think it's like there's 3 tiers. The first 2 have 4 expansions that you build upon. And then the third tier, you only play with one or the other of those. There's 3 of them, like I said, and one's making cheese and jams or something, and oils.
Cider, vinegar, cheese, different things to enhance your winery.
This game, we've still missed one of the last expansions in the end. We're saving that for our friends that moved away. We'll get you guys next time. Anyway, and actually one of the expansions actually adds like a new board to it that kind of enhances, and it's a worker placement game.
Oh, so yes, one of the different expansions adds different workers so they can do different things around your winery as well.
Yeah. So, and it's kind of broken up. The whole game is broken up into seasons: spring, summer, fall, and winter. The spring, everybody kind of chooses their order and who's going to go first and put their meeples on the board first. And what's cool about it is you have to save your meeples sometimes, because you can't just use everything in the summer because you don't get them all back. You have to save some for the winter. You can always buy more meeples. And there's a migrant.
The grande workers.
Well, there's a grande worker, but there's a migrant worker that you can get that will help you, one person. But in the spring, you're picking your turn order. In the summer, you're planting and building your parts of your winery. In the fall, everybody gets to choose a card for visitors. And then in the winter, that's when you're harvesting your fields and planting. So, and fulfilling wine orders. And that's the big part of it. It's filling wine orders, scoring points. First person to 25 points triggers the game, the end of the game, and you move on from there. So, great game.
We
Lots
also
of replayability.
we also have Viticulture World, which is a cooperative game to play with your family.
Right, and that does actually use a little bit from the Tuscany expansion too. The Mamas and the Papas got added, just to kind of help with that varied start. And then, like you said, the Worlds is kind of cooperative. But if you're going to get Viticulture, play it once, twice, you definitely want to go ahead and get the Tuscany expansion for sure. It adds. Now, if that one would just fit everything in one box,
It would be awesome.
yeah, that would be great. Yeah, actually, we keep ours kind of up on the top, and unfortunately, I have both boxes kind of mixed up with what's actually in each of them. So, anyway, yeah, Viticulture, Tuscany expansion by Stonemaier Games. That leads me with my overall recommendation. Now, I'm a little biased, and we had kind of all talked about like what we wanted to add, and there was 3 games that I was kind of between, but Terraforming Mars Prelude expansion is the one I kind of went with.
Good choice.
Yeah, I
good
think
choice.
So out of all the expansions that we have for any of our games, we have a lot that just add to what's already there that just makes it better. Some might add maybe a special little mechanic that just kind of enhances the game. Sometimes I think we have a couple expansions that it's okay, but it's a take it or leave it expansion. But with Prelude by Terraforming Mars Prelude expansion by Stronghold Games, it just jump starts your game. Terraforming Mars, everybody's takes the corporation that's trying to be the face of Mars by terraforming it. Obviously, it's in the title. And everybody's kind of cooperatively trying to raise the oxygen level by putting greenery tiles out on the board, or raising the heat level by doing things that produce energy, in turn creating heat, or placing oceans, creating water out on the map. There is a little bit of a drafting tile or card drafting mechanic at the beginning of the game. You don't have to play that way. And actually, when we play with our family, we haven't quite yet. But we seem to be teaching this to new people. Not new people. We seem to teach this game a lot. But with the Prelude, the first few rounds of the regular Terraforming Mars seem to just, you're trying to build your engine, trying to get it moving. You're trying to collect coins. You're trying to collect steel building material, titanium building material, greenery leaf stuff. And like I said, the first 3-4 rounds, maybe it just seems like they just kind of drag. You don't have enough money to do anything until you build a little bit more income up. You don't have enough heat going in to do anything. So what Prelude does is actually it gives you 2 cards that just kind of really jumpstart your engine. And it gives you a direction to kind of jump off from. Your corporation card already does that slightly, but the Prelude card might just help that even more. You select 2 out of the 4 cards that you're given at the beginning of the game, and boom, you're off to the races. It just, Terraforming Mars can take a little bit of time to play. There's a lot going on. Great game, don't get me wrong. It's wonderful. But Prelude just makes the game 1,000% better. 1,000%.
1,000.
So yeah, I mean, there's throughout the game, you're going to buy milestones. You're going to buy awards that people are going to, each player can use. Which one? The milestones, only you can use them.
Yep.
The awards, the first and second player score points on them. And I'll say that I don't really count the map as an expansion, but we did get the Helios, and I don't remember what the other side of the board was called. But the map expansion is just kind of cool. It just gives you different kind of placement on where Mars is at, or on Mars to where you start playing your tiles to. But Terraforming Mars, you're drafting cards. You're paying for cards to build your engine. You are putting tiles out on the board. You're scoring points. It's just Terraforming Mars is an all-around good game, but Prelude expansion just so that's
5
Terraforming
games?
Mars. Yeah. Prelude by Stronghold Games. That's 5 games that we've given you.
It's
Um,
5 expansions.
yeah, no, you're right.
4 great games.
Yes.
Standalone games are good, but expansions make them a little bit better.
Yep, these expansions for these games will just elevate that game just a little bit more. So there's plenty of other great expansions out there. We have plenty of them. Actually, what sparked this video is we actually just went out and bought an expansion for a game. We haven't been able to play it yet, so I'm not going to tell you what it is.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. But anyway, if you've played any of these expansions, let us know in the comments. If there is a game that you guys have that you think an expansion with that game just makes it that much better, let us know. Maybe we have it, maybe we don't, and maybe we should get it. So otherwise, don't forget to like and subscribe. That really helps us kind of keep these videos coming, keep all the woots.
And also hit that notification button.
Yep, do all of those things. And also, don't forget to come back next time, and you can see us on House Rules.
Rules.
All right, bye.
Bye.